Well, first, credit to North Texas. I think they're a really good team. I think Jason's done a great job with their squad. And they made it tough. They made us fight for everything. I think this game, what I'm most proud of is how we rebounded from our start. Not a great first quarter, not a great first, what did we say, minute and 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Took an early timeout and just talked about refocusing. And even when we came out, we were better, but we weren't great. And that's something we've talked about a lot in the last week, about maintaining who we want to be and how we want to play, regardless if things are going our way or not. And I thought our kids did a really good job just trying to stay focused, trying to get to the next play, make the next play. And then obviously once we had that break between the first and second quarter, we came out and maybe played 3 of the best quarters that we've played all season long. And so I'm just proud of us. It's been a lot of work that we've been putting in, and I think today we saw just a lot of progress from the work that we've been putting in. A lot of different people stepped up. We can talk about that as well. But this was certainly a team win.
Deja, coach mentioned players stepping up, and one of them, talk about your teammate, Smitty. I mean, she came up big off the bench, especially in that first half, had a lot of big defensive plays and hit a big three-pointer. Just going to talk about Smitty.
Smitty is she's the one that brings us the energy, the defensive energy off the bench. When she's going, we're all going. She just brings that go-get-it dog energy, and we love that from her. As soon as she came in, she was getting stops, blocks, deflections. So when Smitty's on, she lifts the whole team defensively, and we just love her for that.
Coach, you talked on it a little bit, but 2 games prior to this second quarter have been kind of bad for the team. Got outscored by 13, outscored by 15. What was the message going into the second quarter? You really outscoring the team 16 points.
Well, we just kept talking about, trying to get to the next play, knowing that we didn't play our best in the first quarter, and we had an opportunity to play our best we can for the next 30 minutes. And I did think our kids stayed very focused. I don't think they let it bother them. We talk a lot about, don't let 1 minute affect the 40 minutes, and I thought we did that. Now, with that said, I thought we made good adjustments. We went to our trapping zone. We were able to get some, I think, 2 or 3 straight turnovers. We got some easy ones out of that, and I thought we really flipped the momentum at that point. And, from there on out, the momentum stayed in our favor.
For both of you, first conference game, got a win out of that. How big is that getting that leg out in the right foot?
Well, it's important. Obviously, we talked about being, this is a new season, and our non-conference was built to help us grow and get better as a team, and I do think that we have. And now it's go time, and North Texas is a really good team, and so to play them in our first game was a huge challenge. But for us to play well against a really good team in our first game just shows how far we've come. And we're excited about it. We know it's a privilege to be the first women's basketball team at Charlotte to play in the American and to get that win. It mattered to us. We talked about it pregame. But now that's over, and we got to continue to just, stay the course.
In that first quarter, Jewel Watkins provided 6 points, really big getting the offense going. What do you see from her? What do you hope to see from her moving forward?
Jewel played really well today, and I'm not surprised because she practiced really well. She came back from break, and she just stacked her days. I mean, every day she played well. She got better. And so I don't think anybody was surprised. I think she's playing in more control, which has been the biggest thing. We always knew Jewel can get to the hoop. That's something we've challenged her with since she's got to Charlotte. But just understanding when and how and the spacing within our offense and the times that she should do that, I think she struggled some, which is, normal for any new player on a roster. But I think she's finally starting to get comfortable. I thought she utilized her strengths really well today. I thought she was a huge difference maker in this game.
Towards the end of the game, Deja, you had a really good offensive performance closing out the game. What do you see at that time of the game? And Coach, what do you like knowing you have that from her towards the end of the game?
I just knew at the end of the game, it was a possession game. We had to do everything that we can to keep the lead and not get discouraged when they made plays, and also stay poised. We did have a tendency of just getting out of control, making bad shots, making bad decisions. But in that time, I just knew that if I was composed, my whole team would follow my lead. And just staying composed, we know that North Texas is a really great team in the second half, and they're capable of coming back at any time. So if we're staying composed and just staying next play and just making the right reads when we can and going one play at a time and one possession at a time, I knew that we were going to take that win.
Yeah, I trust Deja, and that's been over time. She has proven over time that in those situations, she's going to make the right decision or she's going to make a tough shot. And I think everybody trusts her. So, honestly, when the game is closing time, we want the ball in her hands a lot. And, I thought she made some really great plays. I made a couple good calls. No, just kidding. She made you're only as good as your players. But she made the plays, and I was proud of her because she didn't make those plays in the first 2 quarters. She missed some shots she normally would make. She took some tough shots at the rim where she allowed their defense to alter her, which she hadn't been doing as much. Even in the third quarter, she settled for some jumpers, was a little off balance. So those are all, things that she knows. Like, she knows to be on balance when she gets to the rim. She knows not to fade on her jumper, and she just stayed the course, and we kept giving her the reminders. And when it mattered, she was disciplined to how she's supposed to be, and that's why she's able to close the game like that.
First American win, but technically it's an opponent you know really well. He came from conference. You say next game you go to South Florida. The program hasn't played them since 2005. How big is that? This is kind of the first American game coming up.
I'm excited. They're the best team in the league. They're voted number 1. They've been the best team the last couple of years. This is what we came to this league for, to play a team like that, to measure ourselves. They're extremely well coached. They have so many offensive weapons. They run a lot of stuff. They run it really well. I mean, when you watch them on film, you can see why they've been so successful, but that's what we're chasing. Again, that's why we came to this league. We want to compete. We want to grow. We want to become one of the best teams in this league. And we can't do that without opportunities to play a team like South Florida. So we will rest tomorrow. We'll prepare for 2 days, and we'll go down there and battle. And ultimately, again, we're going there to win. But it's about the journey and how we can continue to grow and get better and become the best team we can by the end of the season.
My last question, with New Year's Eve, what's your resolution for the team, both of you guys?
Well, I got to think about that. I'm not really a resolution person. Are you?
Not really. Not really. Maybe just staying the course, believing in ourselves, and just taking it game by game. We know every game isn't going to be easy, but just staying true to who we are.
I got it. 15 turnovers a game.
That's a good
Is that
one.
a wish? That's a New Year's wish. My New Year's wish is that we'll average 15 or less turnovers a game, and we're going to. We cut them by 2 today, so I was proud of us
Baby
for that.
steps. Baby steps.
Coach, we kind of mentioned a slow start and the early timeout, but first quarter, North Texas was really getting a lot of open looks. Second quarter, what kind of played into our run was forcing turnovers. It kind of seemed like a lot of the passes were telegraphed. We were creating steals. Was there any in-game adjustments that kind of played into that?
Well, I think we went to our trapping zone, and that is something we have not played quite as well. Our last couple games, we watched a lot of film on it this week. We worked on it a lot this week, and I think it really helped us. I thought our kids locked into what we asked them to do, and then I thought we made really good reads. I mean, when we're in that, we talk about reading the shoulders and reading the eyes, and I thought we did a great job of that. Deja got a really good steal to a run out, which helped us. And so, when we play that at the level we played it today, it's very good.
Deja, just going to talk about that as well, because a lot of your points tonight really seem to be on the fast break. Kind of, if your team is in a offensive lull or struggling to get into rhythm, and all of a sudden you're getting steals, it can kind of help create that rhythm offensively. Just kind of talk about how that played into the win today.
I think we're really great in transition. So when we can get steals and get those easy ones, I think it really helps us on the offensive end. But like Coach said, we harp really heavy on our double fist this week and getting steals and making the right read. So I think we really did. I think we did a really good job with that today, and just I think we did a really good job of carrying over today in the game.
So listen, Fatu just had something to say in the background. But that's funny because she was on my mind. I do not want to leave this press conference without shouting her out. I thought she was tremendous today. And I'll be honest, I was really, really tough on her in practice coming back from the break because she's better than she's been playing. And the light bulb seemed to kind of go off our second day back from break. And if Fa doesn't play the way she plays in the third quarter when Key had 3 fouls and Tracy had 3 fouls, we don't win this game. I thought she was really good. They went at her. She didn't give up that much defensively. She got some blocks. She was tremendous rebounding. So again, Smitty was great. Jewel was great. Fa was great. And when we have 3 people off the bench stepping up like that, we're going to be a much better team.
All right, thank you, Coach. Charlotte picks up the win over North Texas. They'll be back in action next week against South Florida.